Hey guys, Scarletz here. So this video is actually part 2 of my previous one where I talk about utilizing Obsidia skills with items like Endless to make her a skillcaster marksman that specializes in hit and run gameplay by using her first skill's long range to play safely from a distance. Now for the build, I actually want to go with this setup, but I'm afraid Obsidia will be too squishy, so I'll try changing Windtalker to Brute Force as her last item. As for Endless, it will be her core item to enhance her passive poking capability through her first skill, and also to provide cooldown reduction, mana regen, and heal on hit, which are great for a skillcaster hero. For Boots, magic shoes for CDR and a bit of extra HP. Third item will be Sky Piercer for finisher, and this item works perfectly with her passive to kill someone from far away. And then Hunter Strike for more damage and CDR, followed by BOD to boost her overall damage. Now for the Emblem and Talent set, I'll go with Assassin for movement and damage, Inspire for cooldown reduction and mana regen, Festival of Blood to make her more sustainable through spell vibe for her first skill, and lastly, Impure Rage for extra mana source and poke damage. You can also switch Inspire with something like Trail since this build already gives 40% CDR in the late game, or you can go for Agility to boost her movement speed. Moving on to the match, I'm playing with my squad here in Mythical Glory matchmaking, and since our ROM is Hellcurt, we'll be playing a bit more aggressively to pressure their marksman, so it ended up with a trade. But that's fine since we can still burst Carmilla early on. Well, I'm not sure why, but I think Carmilla still wanted to play aggressively even with low HP, so we just finished her off followed by Ixia. Yeah, no chance for her to escape. Now at this point, I'm clearly winning the lane, so I decide to secure the Scavenger Crack twice while also pressuring Ixia with my ultimate. But since Ixia has a great lifesteal from her passive, let's just retreat and farm more for Sky Piercer. For me, Obsidia's early phase is a bit boring because she really needs to farm, not only for items but also for her stacks, similar to Aldo, Sicilian, and other scaling heroes. But that doesn't mean we have to always play passively because like in here, we managed to take down Fanny, making her blue buff go to waste. Next, here I want to kill Ixia since I already got my Sky Piercer, and because my damage can already deal significant damage, I'll just poke her a bit before diving into the turret to finish her off for the stack. Now the key point when playing a Sky Piercer marksman is to play safely from a distance since you don't want to lose your stacks, so it fits perfectly with her long range first skill and the hit and run gameplay style. Also, try to gank now since farming minions won't give you any Piercer stacks, so just look for any teamfight and join in right away. And as you can see here, Sky Piercer really works well with my passive to secure a kill from far away. And thanks to my team, I already managed to reach 40 Piercer stacks, so the next step is to farm for even more stacks. Just use her ultimate, do some attack, then finish them off with her first skill. And you can see just how quickly I'm able to spam my first skill here to secure more kills. But marksman is still a marksman, that's why I need defensive or utility item like Immortal, Winter, Wind of Nature, or at least Rose Gold. But I decided to just go for Brute Force, cause why not? It can give us great HP stats, some physical defense, another cooldown reduction for 40% CDR, and also more damage, tenacity, and movement speed through its passive. So I think it's a really good item for her, especially since her Bone Shard animation can extend Brute Force's passive duration thanks to its slow projectile movement. Now we are already in the late game, so it's best to pick them off whenever possible like we did here, and after that, go for the Lord right away. But since this is already a winning game, sometimes we love to toy with our opponents for a bit, you know. Just make sure they cannot make a comeback. So when we finally decided to end the game, we took down the Lord and pushed their top lane for a split push. Unfortunately, 2 of my teammates got taken down, but I was still able to kill Fanny with the help of Sky Piercer and my passive. Then I retreat for a while to join another team fight with Lancelot and Hellcurt, though I did miss my ultimate, but thanks to the CDR build, I was able to spam both of my first and second skills for every 1.8 seconds, which led us to our victory. To be honest, this build is really fun to play since you can safely attack from a distance by spamming her first skill and letting the passive and Sky Piercer do the rest. But you'll need some accurate skill shots with her first skill, which makes this playstyle a bit risky if you miss too often, since her basic attack will do lower damage due to the lack of attack speed items. Now I'll go over the full pros and cons at the end, since we are moving to the second game because the first one was a bit too one-sided since we were already far ahead even in the early game. Now in the second game, we'll be up against Gigi and Franco, which are probably my worst enemies since they can easily freeze the lane and pick me off if I'm careless. So here's the tip, if you're under pressure, just focus on getting the last hit with your first skill, and don't clear the minions right away because you want your minions to clash with the enemies first to halt their movement, allowing you to farm safely for the next wave.
Enemy battle spell on CD.
And always pay attention to the minimap, like in here, when Gigi went to mid, I took the chance to secure the scavenger trap while also clearing the minion wave. Then we ended up trading ultimates, though I'm not really sure why Gigi used Vengeance there since I was obviously going to retreat. But like I said earlier, Obsidia's early to mid phase is a bit boring, so here's another tip. You can actually use her ultimate to escape certain situations since it lowers the cooldown of her second skill, allowing her to use it twice in a row like I did here to escape Gigi's ultimate. Now this second game is definitely much harder than the first one because I only got my Piercer at minute 8 with 0 KDA, followed by my first skill on Guinevere. Next, there's a team fight in the mid lane, but I still cannot finish them off since both of my passive and Piercer stacks aren't enough yet, so let's just retreat to farm more. But suddenly, Yisun-shin ganks me out of nowhere, so Gate, do the ultimate, second skill, cancel your ultimate and then second skill again to retreat. I must say, Game 2 is so much harder because they got so many pick-off heroes like Yisun-shin, Guinevere, Franco, and Gigi that tend to aim for the backline, so I need to farm for a kill really safely. And it's better to not have any deaths than scoring many kills but also many deaths, especially if you are a marksman, so just take it slow and don't repeat the same mistake like I did here. Though I don't expect Yisun-shin in the bush because my intention earlier was to poke Franco here, not to aim for Yisun-shin, but at least my team was able to make a fair trade since Yisun-shin also went down. And finally, after getting BOD, my damage is a bit stronger, enough to help secure some kills with my team.
The abyss shall feast tonight.
So after that, we went to destroy their top turret and base, but I was too focused on playing safe and didn't notice the minion there, because if I had, I could have ended the game earlier. But thanks to this, I was able to show you the hit and run Obsidia gameplay with Uranus to buy some time for our team to get revived. After that, we proceeded to get the Lord, but since it was being contested by the enemy, we decided to pick off one of them first because taking the Lord while all enemies are still alive is a bit risky. And yeah, we got Guinevere here and also Franco, so at this moment, we didn't really need the Lord to end the game. Just went for a straight push, picked off Vexana and destroyed their base. Yeah, it's definitely a harder game, but as you can see, I only died twice despite the enemy having a lot of pick-off heroes. Not only that, my damage dealt is still at the top, thanks to the poking damage from our first skill and passive. Overall, I will rate this build 8 out of 10 because I really love skillcaster marksmen like Clint or Granger, but I don't fully recommend this build at the same time, since of course there are some cons to this strategy, and here are the pros and cons based on my opinion for this Obsidia hit and run cooldown reduction build. And I guess that's all for now. Thanks for watching and see you around.